Okay, I'm live. So today I just want to talk about, I'm kind of going on like a rant right now because I want to talk about certain natural hair gurus that just act like they know everything all of a sudden because they decided that they wanted to go natural. Now they supposedly know everything about natural hair. And it's just not true. For instance, I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't like to mention any names or anything, but this person says they're an herbalist, but they can't even pronounce the word tincture properly. They're teaching you about oils and all this, but you didn't even say the word tincture right. Like what? You said in the beginning of your video that you're an herbalist. You're here to talk about the science of hair. But I do research as well. I'm not going to say I'm an herbalist, and I'm not going to say that I talk necessarily about the science of hair. I mean, hair is a scientific thing, but everybody's experiencing things. I've had my natural hair, I'm pretty sure, longer than a lot of certain gurus, and I've cut my hair several times. I've started over several times. That doesn't mean that I'm just completely an idiot when it comes to my natural hair. But this person right here, I'm pretty sure she's popular. But in the beginning of this video, she said that
Clove water versus a clove tincture for hair growth. I'm going to break down.
What?
Let's talk about clove oil versus clove water versus a clove tincture.
A tincture?
I'm going to break down.
I'm not trying to be rude, but she said she was an herbalist. Tincture. Am I wrong? If anybody knows, no, it's not tincture. It's a tincture. There's a C in it. It's a tincture. So it's like if you're gonna be like so super confident, just like say I'm not exactly sure how to say it. I'm still researching it, but you're like here and you will dog black women for not knowing how to do this or not knowing how to do that when they're on their natural hair journey, but you don't want to get dogged. You'll be like the first one. Like if you leave a comment, I have friends that can trace you down and get you fired. Like, okay, I'm just saying, you should show some gratitude for the people who have had natural hair for years, whether they shaved it off, started over, whether they had to trim inches off. They have made a way for one, you to just have so much confidence. You've been here long enough to see some of the errors and some of the things that don't work. That's the same way that people find out about medicines and things that heal. When us natural hair people are trying different things, the aloe vera, the carrier oils mixed with the essential oils, which you should be very careful doing that because most people are not a damn chemist and are not a damn herbalist, and you need to be careful because that can give you whatever they call it, alopecia. I don't know, hypertonitis. I don't know, but I know that it can make your hair fall out and it can leave spots if you don't mix that stuff up right, or if it's too much of this or too much of that. Period. You gonna have bald spots and your hair gonna be falling out. I don't have to know the proper term, but I'm telling you, I know that much. So it's like I just wish that the natural hair gurus who are just starting, or we didn't see you when your hair was natural, when we were fucking struggling and trying to figure out what to put on our hair, and as we're going through our journey, but we're being like brought down for everything that we try all of a sudden. It's like people are being their own personal you know self-made product people, whatever you want to call it. That's fine, but do show gratitude for the people who are actually experiencing that stuff so that you know not to do that stuff. You don't have to come out here acting like you're all that because you are a licensed cosmetologist or you've been doing hair for 20 years. Sure, you've been doing hair for 20 years. I love the girls silk press videos. Like I watch those like all the time. But it's just like you're good at silk presses for sure. That's what we know for sure. You weren't doing a bunch of natural hair in natural states in natural ways. Like you weren't doing that. You weren't starting off with this type of hair all the time and then ending with this type of hair all the time. Like, but you showed us how to do silk press. You weren't showing us how to take care of this hair, but you did show us how to silk press this hair. Okay, so that's totally different when you're at home trying to learn how to put the products in, when to put the products in, what to do, what not to do. It's a whole learning process. So show some gratitude and appreciation for the women who are crazy enough to try some of these things. I'm just saying. And then also give people credit for people who are coming up with these techniques. Some of these people aren't like, major YouTubers, but they're coming up with techniques that I'm seeing a lot of bigger people, you know, using. But you will never credit smaller YouTubers for anything like that. Like you just won't. You'll take that, you'll learn something from them, and then you'll act like you're the one who invented it. When in actuality, it's a lot of the gurus who are learning from us. They're learning from us how to take care of natural hair. And they're analyzing from us how to take care of natural hair. Don't come on here and you haven't showed your natural hair when you can in like 10 years and then just be like this is how you take care of your natural hair. Like that's cool, but if you're going to be teaching the science of hair, then be showing your hair while you're doing it a lot more often. Like that's the thing about some of the gurus. They're following a lot of natural hair people and literally just criticizing them for trying different things. And then they're learning from them what to do and what not to do. They're watching you the right things as well. And then they're blowing up or saying whatever from the right things that they've learned watching you do certain things. So it's just like, okay, give us more credit. Be more like respectful toward us growing our hair and having to experiment things. Because if you can come up with a book that's talking about the science of hair, then you can also come up with a book that's just, you've been doing this for a long time. Come up with a book right now teaching us the technique of how to do your hair, not just these big words that are like Spanish to people and they don't necessarily understand that. Like, break it down on a level that people can understand. Break it down on a level that people can understand. Like, you can talk about how smart you are if you're just sitting here saying, like, uh, ¿qué pasa? Hasta luego. ¿Cómo estás? Like you're speaking a whole nother language to people and they're like, what? Yeah, break it down like, ¿cómo estás? How are you doing? Like, hasta luego. See you later. ¿Qué pasó? What's happening? Like, break it down to where people can understand. Te amo mucho. Like, say it afterwards. Like, break it down easy. Don't be like, oh, I'm so smart. I'm saying all this stuff to y'all. Like, but y'all can't understand me. So I'm greater than y'all, and y'all are gonna be able to catch up with me. And like, don't do that to people. I think that's unnecessary. I think that's wrong. And then it's like, I really don't want to go. The only reason why I'm talking about something, because I know when people talk about me on the sideline, and I know when people are saying something, now you may be like, oh, you just this. I don't care. I know. Anyway, don't be dogging people out because they're trying new things. Now, the onion thing, I mean, I would say that's pretty ridiculous and all that. I understand that. But say something to us that sounds like it's gonna make sense without just criticizing us. Like, don't be like, I don't recommend you keeping your braids in for 2 months because it's gonna be. And grease is breaking out your hair. Like everything that people are using is such a horrible thing. And then next week they'll be talking about I'm gonna use a little grease in my hair. Like no. To all the natural hair ladies that are trying different things and are experiencing with their hair, I appreciate it. Now, sometimes I know when people are just doing something out wrong, and I do think that people need to be called out. But at the same time, I don't think that you should act like you're greater than thou when you're still learning yourself. Like, don't sit up here and act like you're greater than that when you're still learning yourself. Because then when somebody calls you out, you're gonna be upset. I've been like I started looking up carrier oils and essential oils a long time ago. Like that's like 10 years ago. And tinctures with a C, that's like 10 years ago. Like when it first started, when people first started, the white dudes were talking about that. That's how we were learning about that type of stuff. And then the black women, they started getting in their kitchen, try to cook it up like the entrepreneurs. So, and then that's another thing. Like, it seems like when another race is involved, the other race is always wrong. They don't know anything about black hair. They don't know this. So if you're learning and you're telling me that your teacher who's in college didn't teach you this and they don't know nothing about black hair, then how can you know it? How can you know anymore if you haven't had this type of hair for 10 years or 15 years or something like that? That means you're learning as well. It's just like everybody goes to history class. But in college, if you want to learn about black people, you go to black history. It's a specific class. So if you're going to learn about black hair, then you need to be telling me that you went to a special class that taught you specifically about African American hair. Don't come and tell me that, oh, they couldn't teach me nothing up in there. They didn't know nothing. I was teaching them stuff. Okay, if you were, then I want to see your natural hair and I want to see what you were doing then. That's all I'm saying. Because nobody's perfect, but don't come up on here beating us up and then be like, black women need to stick together. Well, you need to show more love, like, and and be real about the fact that you know you're watching other people and watching other African American women who've had this type of hair for a long time. You're analyzing them, you're using them as some of the experience, and that didn't come from your 40,000 or whatever people that were sitting in your chair for 40,000 different customers that you have, or however many, 400,000, whatever it is, that's different heads every time. That's not somebody consistent. You don't know me and what's going to go on with my hair until you're in my hair and you're dealing with my hair and you're doing it on a consecutive basis. You're jumping from person to person and then saying you know everybody's hair. I haven't seen any repeat ones. And when I was looking for this particular guru's videos, I was looking for consistency. I was trying to see if there were clients that showed up every 2 months for over the course of 3 years or so that I could see the actual growth and how it happened. But it's like, no, it was back on the customers. Oh, the customers disappeared. The customers, they're not, you know, they go home, get their hair done, mess it up, and then come back to me and then try to get me to save it. Like it just doesn't make sense. And then it's like, oh well, I don't know any hairstylists who are jealous of your hair. Then that's just you. That's just you. Why? Where did you find this hairstylist, and where did you go? Well, I just fucking went to see who does natural hair, in the town, in the city, and this was one of the places that said natural hair care in big red damn lights. So I figured, oh, I'll try them out. They're advertising it. It's in a good area of the town. You know, the portfolio looks nice. I mean, the styles look nice. I didn't know that the lady was gonna brush all my damn hair out and leave afro balls in the comb. But when hairstylists want to team up and gurus want to team up against certain people, they're gonna find a way to blame the customers. Well, it was your hair. Did you come in with your hair comb? Did you do this? What was your routine? Well, I don't care what my routine is. Look, I've done half of this right now. This is already like this, and this is how much has come out. And I haven't done this. These have been in for almost 4 months. This is how much has come out. I go to and this is spread out. This is like very spread out. If I ball it up, it just looks like this. You know what I'm saying? If I go to a hair beautician right now with this much hair, I will have this thick, and it'll be a thick ball. Two of these, this big of them after they did my hair. The one person that I did go to, this lady said she did Lil Wayne's hair and all that. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't think Lil Wayne coming back, and he ain't came back, so I don't really know if you're that good, but you're convenient. You're in the area. It's natural. You're in a good area. So it's on you that you suck if you suck. And let me tell you something. They only suck with who they want to suck with. And I've said this in my prior videos when I made my first hair video on a different channel. They pick on who they want to pick on. If you look young and like you can easily be taken advantage of and you're not going to speak up for yourself, how I probably look thin and probably do now just because I'm thin and I look this way. But if you look grown with big boobs and hips, I know this sounds crazy, but it's true. And you come in with your mama and you look like you one of them fighting types, they're gonna do your shit pretty good. Cause I seen it. I seen how good she did her hair. I seen how she showed love when she was combing and all this. But she made sure mine was scheduled toward the end. And then when her little brother was there, she was combing it all nice. And as soon as he left, the girl started ripping it out and all this. So you was abusive and you're a hater. And yes, there are abusive, hating beauticians. And that's why I said make sure they don't schedule you through the end of the day or make sure somebody's with you. And I'm one of the main ones who have advocated for bringing a recorder while they're doing your hair because they will pull that type of move on you. So don't sit up here and put it back on the customer. It's always the customer. It used to be the customer's always right. I don't agree with that. But damn, you can't blame the customer all the damn time. Oh, it's you. How you find it? How you find it? All this and that. Like, no. You should want your reputation to be good with every person that you do. You don't mess with nobody's hair. You don't mess up nobody's hair because you're pissed off because your daughter hair ain't grown that long. Your hair ain't grown that long. You bitches be trying to tell me, like this musician, no offense, I'm not gonna say who it is, but try to tell me, oh, I've been doing natural hair for 10 years. And I'm like, okay, boo, I've been had my own natural hair for about 10 years too. And you keep cutting yours off. I understand I cut mine too, but it's like, or they'll say something like, they've been doing natural hair for 7 years and you didn't have your natural hair for like 10 years. You started it all on your own. You know, you've been through this with your hair and that with your hair. And you notice they can't even fucking comb your hair right though. And then they'll blame you. Oh, because you came up in here with it and not combed all the way out. Okay, that's fine. But I know one thing when you combing my hair shouldn't be jerking back and you talking about hold your neck up. Hold your neck up. Hold your neck up while I comb. Yes. That's what I went through. That's what I experienced. And then I came back. Yes, I went back because I was like, okay, you know what? Let me give her another chance because, I was desperate and I was so damn vulnerable because there weren't that many other natural hair places. And I think it was just like Uncle Funky's daughter. That was one of them, but I didn't go there. I went to this other place that was closer. And so I went to this place again, and I heard her. She even was like, "Well, why she come back again?" I guess she had been eavesdropping on my life and my conversations because she knew that I had been talking shit and was asking me, "Well, why she come back again?" But wanted to fucking take pictures and stuff while I'm sitting under the dryer. Okay, and so while I was sitting under the dryer, let's talk about this story time in between my rant. Okay, so I'm like, I noticed like this part was burning up because she was drying my hair and it was like burning. The middle of my scalp was literally like burning and shit. So I was like, okay, let me move my hair into a different position. Let me move it into a different position. So it was like, say it was like this. So I just like wrapped something right here so this part could dry, or I moved it a little bit. And she came over there and she was like, "Oh, don't do that. Why you moving your hair like that? Don't do that." I tried to be nice. I was like, "Oh, well, because I noticed this part was dry and this part was still wet, and it's kind of burning me right here. So I'm just kind of moving it." And she was just like rude. It was like no point. Like some people just want to be rude to you. Like there's nothing you could do, but they'll treat somebody else hair super good. They'll do that shit on purpose. And that's just the reality of it. Nobody's hating on no hairdresser. People want to go to their hairdresser. People want somebody else to do their hair because they're tired. They want nothing more than to be able to relax while somebody else takes care of their hair, does a good job, and it's somebody that they can trust. That's what people want. So why would they just make up stuff that's irrelevant and not true? Like it's completely unnecessary. So I suggest people stop, gurus and other people stop. And I don't think a lot of these gurus have this problem, but there are a few. It's like they don't take our experiences for like something to be appreciated. A lot of times they just take it as like we're stupid. We need to come into the beauty shop and let them have 100 complete control in anything that we suggest. Like I was talking to the lady, the beautician, and she just like wanted to shut me up. She didn't really want to hear my routine. She didn't want to hear how I did things. She didn't want to hear anything. She was just like rude to me. I let her eat her meal. I let her talk on the phone while she was doing whatever she was doing. And it's like, okay. But then when it was time for us to talk, I tried to build communication with this person to like talk to her. But then I just realized it was a waste of damn time because she even had the other people in on treating me like shit. The other people that I guess was paying for a booth in there. So I was just like, you know what? I'm good. Girl had security guard up in there and everything because she knew she was talking so much shit just in case my skinny ass decided to get up and rant and say something about it. She had to have protection there or something. Yeah, I was giving them the eye so much they was like feeling that shit. Like I was not feeling nothing that was going on at that point. I gave her a second chance. That's what I did. And she showed me that she was for sure about who she was and what she was doing to me. So that's what it is. And after that, I never went back. Now I was such a good person that she trusted me to leave and go to the bank to go get the rest of the money because I didn't bring enough money because she changed the price. At first, she was like, "Oh, your hair length, since you have a certain hair length, it's gonna be like 55 or 65, whatever the hell she charged me." And then once she seen how she was like, "Oh, your hair is a little bit longer, so that's gonna be 75 or something like that, $80 or something like that." I was like, "Okay, that's fine." Now I could have shampooed my hair and did. Oh, then on top of that, the lady had her daughter wash my hair. Her daughter, who was not a beautician, was not licensed, and didn't even do that great of a job, to be honest. She told her daughter to wash my hair. That's fucking rude. I don't think she actually did a horrible job. It was just that I thought that it was rude because you're supposed to be doing my hair, and you didn't tell me your daughter was gonna be. She like just came in with her friends. It seemed like and was just not really interested in doing hair. And then she gonna tell her daughter to wash my hair. I didn't. I felt some type of way. Like what? Like can she wash hair? Is she good at this? Like, am I gonna have soaps and suds? And then you have to wonder, like, you have to be prepared to talk rude to these people almost like, oh, I feel like it's some soap in my hair because anything you say is gonna sound rude to them. Can you rinse it off again? Oh, she got it out. She got it out. But if you want me to, I'll go ahead and rinse it again for you. But she did it. Like, okay, whatever. I'm feeling suds right now, but yeah. Okay, well, you ain't got to catch the attitude. You know how people be. So it's like you got to walk on eggshells. You don't know if you're going to have to rinse your own perm out in the goddamn restroom or what. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how crazy people be acting nowadays. So I'm not trying to dog anybody out. Like, all I ever wanted to do was, and also, like, what I'm, people could say this, like, I noticed, like, there are so many black African Americans like on and I only have like 20 videos and I'm not gonna say they're the best videos, but some of them do show some techniques that I've seen trend and like people are using some of those techniques that I use to do certain things to my hair. And it's just like I don't even know. People need to stop being unfair. People need to stop. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There's so many black women here, and they're like getting thousands of views. I'm just gonna mention this before somebody else tries to mention it. Oh, who is she? She ain't got no views. She ain't got no subscribers or none of that. Because the 29th is coming, and you're gonna see that I have one subscriber, and I'm not even gonna say anything about that. Anyway, and not that many views, but I don't have that many videos. But it's just like other black women, I see people getting thousands and thousands and thousands of views, and they have so many subscribers. And I'm just like, oh, well, that means that people are looking for new people and new things, and they're interested in, oh, who else is doing something. But no, it seems like no, because it's like, I'm definitely getting looked over, but then I'm seeing like, oh, but there's certain trends and certain things that I'm doing, certain things that I'm doing that I see as trending, but like it's becoming way bigger than any type of amount of views I'm getting though. So I'm just like, I don't know what's up with that. I'm like, what is one person watching my stuff and then getting other people is they record? They got like a secret YouTube they got going on. Like they record something, like they got their own little DMs or something going on, some type of secret thing, some type of group, girl look chat, whatever. So I'm just like, I'm not really feeling the support from the black women right now in this natural hair community. Like I said, I didn't grow my hair out. And another thing, the natural hair community pissed me off because I did listen to them. I've listened to them twice on two occasions, and both of those occasions it was it was horrible. Now this sounds contradicting, but there are always going to be some of the good ones, and then there's going to be some of the bad ones. The first one, that's another one. I'm not even going to talk about it, but this one actually comes from gurus. And they're constantly telling me, oh, trim your hair, trim your hair, trim your hair. My hair was down to here. My hair was literally down to here. I even had pictures. It was down to here. I trimmed my hair so much. It was my hair was down to like right here. Right here. Girl, I listened to them and I trimmed so much of my damn split ends that my hair became to here. And I look back and I'm just like, that was unnecessary. That was unnecessary. So then there's a white man who comes on and he's saying, okay, that is unnecessary. The bottom of black women or African Americans' hair is naturally, a little bit weaker, and that's the oldest part of your hair. It's gonna be like that. Like Western culture is all about that straight line across, and that's cool. But everybody's doesn't have to be like that. And all these black people don't have to go whacking off years and years of hair that they've grown just because some hairstylist or guru is telling you you need to cut it. Oh, that's unhealthy. Oh, that doesn't look good. Because I think it's beautiful. I think it's fine unless it's just like totally, whacked up. But it's like, no, you're telling me to cut off. That was probably like 3 years of grown hair. Like we talking about like 10 inches. So in certain spots, like you don't understand how long it takes to grow hair. And people are sitting up here acting like it takes, oh, you grow an inch a month. You don't grow no inch a month. Who? You show me who growing an inch a month. It took time to grow that hair. It took work. It took care. And then they gonna tell you when they see you just to whack that off. Man, please. You keep cutting your shit. I'm not gonna keep cutting mine. I think it's okay to get trims every once in a while. It's okay to dust your split ends and do that every once in a while, but don't sit up here looking for that shit every day just because that's what I did. And trust me, you're going to lose a whole bunch of hair doing that. Anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. If I offended anybody, that's just what it is. Because I know people have thrown jaggers at me and had tried to say little stuff on the sideline about me. And, I really kept it cool for as long as I could. And now I'm just like, you know what? I need to say something about, some of what's going on. I'm not going to just let people sit up here and, talk down on me and say all these weird things and secretly be saying stuff on the sideline and it's not going to get addressed. Now, today I went in, I was pretty direct, but it's like, no, you sit up here. I pretty much watch most of this girl's video because I feel like somebody watching me. But like I said, if you're gonna sit up here and criticize people, make sure you know exactly what you're talking about and how to say it. And if you don't, you need to just be, real like everybody else. Like I'm not really sure, but I don't feel like everybody is what they say they are. They might be working on it, they might be getting to it. But first of all, in order to be like an herbalist, that's almost like a doctor. They have accredited programs, you know what I'm saying? So unless you went to school to be an herbalist, I wouldn't go around saying that I'm a herbalist. I would say I like to like study herbs and put things together of whatnot. But unless you went to an accredited school, you can't really call yourself like an accredited herbalist or like a certified herbalist. Where? And if so, you should put that shit on the wall because that's a big deal. I know that I tried to do I was into like naturopathic studies and things like that. And there was like literally only one accredited school, and that came like later on in the whole fucking city, maybe even state. I don't know. But it's not something that just everybody is doing. It's a very complex type thing. And, there's several plants that can heal you and help you, but you have to know exactly how to use them and exactly what will work for this and what won't. It's a big deal. You can combine two things together and it be a complete disaster. That's why people like to just work with basic shit because all that, oh, I'm gonna put this in here, I'm gonna put this in here, I'm gonna put this. If you're gonna do all that, then you better really go big time with it and make sure you're doing it right. Don't just be, you know what I'm saying? And go ahead and experiment on yourself. I see a lot of people talking about this, and that, but I don't see you doing no experiments on yourself. Go if you trust in your stuff so much, then apply it and let us see you apply it. Anyway, so I'm gonna be done with this little mini rant that I went on, and I'm gonna get back to minding my business. So I took these braids out. While I'm here, I might as well talk about it. I took these braids. I've had these braids in for about, I thought it was only 2.5 months, but it's been about 3.5, 4 months. So, and people were talking bad about that. Oh, I wouldn't recommend it. No, I wouldn't recommend it, but I have a way that I do what I do as well. And I don't have, so far, I haven't had that much breakage. This, out of 4 months, that's not that much breakage to me. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I have a video that I did. Um, I think I already did this one. Showing the technique. Probably did all these already. Showing the technique that I use to remove buildup. I think it's a very good video because it's going major. Like everybody's gonna be using this technique, and I'm tired of acting like so little. You know what I'm saying? Maybe my views is little, my subscribers little, but I see it. I see it somehow magically spreading out though the knowledge. So this works, and I know it works, and I know it's good, and I know somebody's watching, and it's going to make a huge difference. Like, it's going to make a huge difference. In the beginning, people were telling you literally to just be patient with your hair, be gentle with your hair. And the question is, how? How? And now you have people like me showing you how. These are like real life techniques that you can use and you can clearly see how they work. So use them and people grow off of other people's techniques, but they just like um inventions, it gets better and better and better over time until everybody finds just a way that works and works pretty good. And then you can stick to that specific way. And then eventually that is going to be the way. It's going to be the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So don't come out here trying to rob people and not give people credit for anything. And then you just want all the damn glory, and it's uncalled for. Everybody should work together, be fair, be thankful, be grateful. I watched so many people. I've watched this. I was on here, like I said, since naturality.com. I was on here when natural hair only had one or two damn pages, and it was done after that. Did I start a YouTube channel? No, because I always had the fear of baloney and bad things happening to people who air their self out. But now I'm at a point in life where I just don't care. So yeah, I've been on here for a long, long time. Like when YouTube uploaded, I was probably one of the first people on there wondering where the rest of the pages were. So, and looking up natural hair was one of the big things that I did. If you was in high school and you had natural hair, you cut your shit off and you got a fro or something like that, then I know you was up to something with this natural hair thing because I was one of them people. I did that. So, and it's been years since that, and I've been doing more and more stuff. And it's not that my hair just all fell out, it's that I've cut it, I've done things to it, and you know, it's not just this horrible story. Most of why my hair is not here is just because of doing things that people so called said that was healthy to do. So now some of it, I was a little rough in the beginning, but I've learned techniques of my own now and how to be gentle and what works for me. That fucking took time. And now somebody's coming just telling you, oh, this is how you do it. This is the technique. This is how you get rid of product buildup. Okay. That is going to save you so much time. You don't realize how much time just those little things took to really figure out. Anyway, I'm done and I will see you guys later. I hope somebody out here appreciated this video. And I'm going to be working on this hair and I will see you guys later. Goodbye. I know it looks a mess and that's okay. Because it's okay to look a mess. Because after a while, I'll be looking cute. Who cares?